Right guys, something else I need to talk about is these valves that I've got. I've got a mini ball valve here which is quite easy to rotate, and if you can see there, it's open. You see that? And then it locks, opens up. Okay, they're a lot smaller than the coil ones, and if you look at pictures they can be quite deceptive to figure out what the size is, because they don't always list the dimensions, which is quite annoying sometimes. And then I've got like a hose valve here. So we've got two types of valves here. This one is a bit stiffer to turn, but it's not a complete sealed ball valve. So it's not as quite secure as a ball valve would be. Now, the way I'm going to utilise these is the ball valve I've got here. I'm going to put it on the rubber boot reducer that's on the water returns. So that's what's going to hold the water back and stop the pond from leaking out. And here I'm going to attach this between the skimmer and the pump, so I can turn it off. It might not be completely watertight, but it'll keep most of the water out. It's got not a lot of water pressure to deal with coming from the skimmer to the pump, and we can isolate the pump and then swap it out if we need to. So I've got something else to go on the pond as well. It's one of those noise fish thingies that you can get. You know, these Japanese things, made out of bamboo, and it makes a nice sound, doesn't it? So we'll put that up on the pond. It'll be quite a nice little additional thing for the noise that the pond creates when it's a bit of wind comes along. Let me know in the comments. Do you like that? Do you think that's nice? Found that in the Batley Mill Village, if you're wondering, in Batley in West Yorkshire. So there's a shop called the Wood Shop. I'll put a link in the description box if you're interested in checking out what they do. But they've got lots of different designs, and I thought it was quite cool to put that on the pond. There you go, quite nice. Anyway, let's get on with it. So that's the J-Bow pump we've got there. I think it's 5,200 litres, something like that an hour. Anyway, that's attached to aquatic ball valve that I've taken off. So we're going to basically replace some of the pipework connecting it to this basically. So I just need to change a few things. So I'm just showing you the return pipe here, which is on one of those double jointed valves that I've designed. So basically on the return I can change the flow at this end versus the first entry point there. So I thought I'd just show you what I've done here. We've put a rubber boot there on the end of the pipe attached to a mini ball valve which will go to the pump and skimmer. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Hello everyone, I thought I'd just talk about a PVC flexible pipe. It's not very flexible, it's very rigid when it's cold. As you can see, if I try squeezing that, it's impossible, it's very strong. However, if you apply a heat gun, we can squeeze it a lot easier. So this is very pliable when it's warm, and you can bend it into certain shapes quite easily. This pipe was bending like that, and now it's pretty much bending that way now. And that's what I wanted, a bit of a bend going down, because we're going to connect it up to some pipework on the other side of the pond. But I just wanted to show you how pliable it is. And also, if you're trying to get this onto a hose tail like we've got at the end of the pump here, you'll find it very difficult to put on when it's rigid and cold. So heat it up and it'll just slot on very easily. So I just thought I'd talk about the PVC flexible pipe. Obviously I'll show you it fully connected up. So we've got the ball valve installed and it's shut off, so it should stop the water. Obviously we have a rubber boot there on the actual pipe where the returns are. So I'm filling the pond up as we speak. I've done a bit more siliconing on the inside of here just to give it a bit more protection and make sure we've got no leaks internally. So that's all nicely siliconed up. So yeah, we're just filling that up. So as you've seen, I've just been out. Just thought I'd just show you the pipe setup here. So I'm going to connect that up to the skimmer. So you just see it's going to go underneath there and connect up to that pump there. Just need a few more Jubilee clips. So I've got some of this dechlorinator. I do have this dechlorinator filter here, but I think the filter is a fair bit old, so I thought it'd be a good idea to put some of this treatment in the pond as well, just to treat the water a little bit. So the full bottle will do 2,273 litres, and the pond, when it's full, is around 3,000 litres roughly. So we'll do that next. Over here I've got some nice duckweed from the Maidenhead Aquatics. I thought it'd be nice to put it in the plant pond. What I like to do is let this grow and feed it to the fish, because fish actually eat this stuff. So it's a good idea not to put it in your pond because they'll end up eating it. But if you want to grow it in a little pond like this and give them a little bit at a time, that's an idea. So without further ado, I'll just put that in. Right, I've just put the duckweed in. So there you go. So just give that a bit of time to develop and multiply, and then we'll have lots in there. So I've just filled the pond up, guys, and obviously the fish are hanging out right at the bottom there because it's quite cold. I think it's about 3 degrees, something like that. And I'm just seeing if the patches I've put in, I've got a patch there and a patch there, if they're holding the water level, and for the time being it seems to be doing a good job. I was contemplating replacing the tank connector there and the tank connector there. However, if we just zoom in, you'll be able to see this. That's one tank connector there, and another one here. Now I was contemplating removing them, but I thought since the ones that I did remove here from these, you know, the pipe area here, they seem to be quite secure in terms of on the liner, and maybe I was a bit too critical on the HA6 silicone, because some of it has adhered but some of it has come off as well. So as you can see, I've re-siliconed all the way around here, also on the interior, and that's essentially ready to go, I believe. So I'm just sorting out the pipe work and how we're going to set up the pump here for the skimmer. Essentially the pump will draw water from the top of the skimmer and push it to the returns. If we just go over here, obviously we've got a ball valve put in there. This is, obviously I've asked some questions on the Facebook groups asking if this rubber reducer boot will do a good job and won't come off and won't leak. So you know, I've been asking a few questions about that, and some people have been a bit of a mixed bag, saying it should hold, no problems. Others that have said it may possibly leak after some years. We'll have to see. But I thought I'd just show you the pipe setup. So basically, we got the ball valve there connected to the pump, obviously, and it actually goes through the returns and back into the pond, basically. So I thought I'd just show you that setup. Right guys, I thought I'd just show you a selection of Jubilee clips, and I've got a bit of array here. So I thought I'd just show you them. These are quite cheap, and they're not that durable, and they're quite, not that substantial and quite thin. Some of them are solid, like that. Other ones, obviously some of them are zinc plated and some of them are stainless steel. This one obviously has got the grooves in it, and basically you can see all the way through. That one there. Here's another thin one. This is the cheapest of the cheap ones that you can actually buy like a full set for like a couple of quid, and it just feels really cheap. And here is a galvanised one. This is a heavy duty one, however it rusts after a while, even with it being galvanised. And you know, these basically rust a lot, so they're not that good either. So if you're going to get Jubilee clips, make sure they're stainless steel and heavy duty and high quality, because you can reuse them, they'll last forever. But some of these cheap ones, like this one's rusted heavily, as you can see there. They're just not very suited for the task. And some of these cheap ones you can buy that are really thin, feel like tin. You know, they're not very strong. Highly recommend you avoid this type of Jubilee clips. Make sure it's stainless steel and they are heavy duty. I've got a few coming that should be delivered soon, and we'll be putting them on the pipework. Right, just had this one delivered. This is a high quality thick stainless steel, 32mm to 45mm Jubilee clip that'll fit my 32 internal diameter PVC pipe, external 38mm pipe, and I'm going to be using these heavy duty ones. As you can see, they're quite a bit thicker, and they're quite thick in terms of their millimeter, in terms of the grade. So yeah, it's highly recommended that you get stainless steel ones, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I've got one of these cheap one-way valves, and I've been having a sneaky suspicion that they're not that great. This only cost me about £15, you see, and I get the feeling that water has been seeping back down through the one-way valve. So what I've decided to do is we're going to swap it out for this ball valve, which is nice, small, compact and well made. I'll put it in there instead, and hopefully that'll keep it from leaking out. Alright guys, bit of a mistake here. The pipe that we're trying to get off has snapped the hose tail on the fitting here, so I'm going to have to take this off and attach that if we can. So after that major mistake I've made in regards to using the angle grinder, because I've put a big gash in the side of the pipe, I'm using this Dremel to go around, and then we'll glue that on there. So it's just a slow process of going around with the Dremel, trying to get rid of all the plastic, and hopefully we'll be able to put that on with lots of solvent weld glue and get that fixed. Right guys, so I've just sanded that piece off using the Dremel, and you know what, get yourself one of these guys. They're fantastic. It would have been a nightmare to do that by hand. So I've Dremeled all that piece of brokenness, like so, off there. So we're gonna basically solvent weld this spare one I had lying around. Obviously I've welded that in the past, so it was a good idea to keep a spare. So I'll just pop that, see if it fits on there first of all. Yeah, it does, fits nicely. So I'm just gonna solvent weld that back on, and then we can get on with fixing this. So guys, I've got a piece that's gonna fit just in there. As you can see, there's a big chunk there that I just need to glue this in place. So I'm gonna stick that in there with some of this Everbuild PVC pipe cement, get that fixed, cement it all, and then we can put the new part on. So I've just glued that piece on, and just need to give that a few minutes to set. Right, so I've just put another 45-degree bend on here, with some more pipe connected to the ball valve that we've got here. So hopefully that should do a better job than we did have. You can see with light. Hopefully it's a bit more easy to see with the light. Right guys, I thought I'd just show you the skimmer again. So as you may know, the Cottony Koi wide mouth skimmer comes in two parts, and if the middle area, I think it's about, is it 8 inch across or something like that, the small area here. Now if you've got any silicone that's loose on there, that's not sealing it, like I've just pulled off here, that's where my leak was coming from. So ironically, doing the whole thing again, where we could have just siliconed the internal air element here. So what we need to do is take all the silicone off on the internal bit here, silicone that in again, and that should prevent my leak. Because I was wondering, why aren't I getting any water going down the other side of the liner where a lot of the foam is? And if you check out my other videos, you'll see how I built this. And behind the liner is some XPS foam to insulate the pond a little bit. And as you can see in here, we need to silicone on the inside as well as the outside. So if I put a bit of silicone around that area there, that should seal it up. I'll also give the screws a little bit of a tightening. Obviously you can see I've got 4 screws, 2 there and 2 on the other side there. So we give those a bit of a tight up, put some silicone on, and then hopefully we should have a sealed skimmer, providing there's no cracks in the skimmer.